So that means maybe I didn't. Maybe they just relayed. Oh my gosh, I know, I'm going. Oh my gosh, sorry, buddy. Or ma'am. Whichever you are. But otherwise, folks, things are looking good. I have to put this thing together. That's my declaw thing, which I may use. I'm leaving, all right, buddy? Yeah, I heard you. I love this. This is the fountain I used to have on the inside. In fact, that's a cool thing. I just got to show this to you real quick, and then we'll come back outside. But I'm going to show you the nest. I know you're probably like, oh, why didn't you show it to me? I want to be really careful, and I don't want to be intrusive, because I deadhead these things, so you can see there's a fourth one. I guarantee you there were only 3 before. But do you see that? Let me just see if I can look at that. Wow. I know. They're up there now. I know. They're pissed off. Okay. Let's get out of here. So I'm going to show you that road. Okay, I'm leaving, dude. You can hear him like chastising me. Like, get the hell out of here. I have to deadhead over here. I have to deadhead here. I was going to show you this fountain. I knew I was going to do something. I got to do some weights today. This is my new fountain. Oops. Which is basically right as you come in the door, and you. Because my old one I had over here, and it was facing that way. Anyway, this was really pretty inexpensive, and I guess it's not like a phone where a GoPro is not like a phone. All right, 64% power. All right, I gotta get talking on the political stuff. But anyway, really like this, folks. Amazon, not very much. I just put in this little cheap LED thing because at night it's really cool. But I'll switch out the batteries. There's like a little battery pack on the back, and then I keep my Nashua Geos behind there so you don't really see the ugly back. But that's really kind of cool. It has a really nice sound. Anyway, very exciting, and I need some water. What time is it? Oh, and I have to do some cooking. Okay, let's get talking. You know what? Today will be. I promise I'll do another follow-up episode, but not. I'm running out of time. I'm making that, and I'm gonna do my Jello thing that I do like to do, where I put in my fruit that's about ready to go bad, and I have to eat because I am starving, and I need to pee. So, okay, just wanted to show you that fountain. Let's go back outside. Sorry. So, I don't think there was anything else. Oh, I was going to just show you that roto, and then we'll get talking. So these are all doing much better since I put up the fence. Then you know who had been munching on them. So this one I should clean out too. You see what I mean? How it gets kind of gross and mangy looking. It's kind of like your dog, you know? Your dog's getting mangy looking. Who is that? The dog doesn't look like that. Check this out. Look at that. This is like the one in the back that we just looked at. And it's only on that. rest of it? Nothing. I showed you this one over there. Something's going on. What the hell happened here? Ooh, that's not good. You know what? That's gonna be somebody coming back from the lake. Yeah, that's not a, no, because now I hear the fire truck and the ambulance and whatnot. But that emergency vehicle was going that way, and the other one, the first one, was going that way. I don't get it. So this is where the bird's nest is. It's in this car. But I still need to deadhead these things, dude. Don't get all pissed off at me again. I'll be out of your way in just a quick sec. Alright, that's fine for now. But I'll be back. But everything else looks good. These guys should do well next year. This guy should do really well next year. I've been fertilizing and whatnot. Yeah, I need to do some deadheading. So cool, right? Are those the coolest freaking flowers? I'll be honest, I'd never seen them before. So, let me just kind of give some background. And I had said that I've lost some weight purposefully. It's either purposely or purposefully. And so I think it's important to note that so here's my story. I am 64. I went down on my 18th birthday and registered at the county clerk's office, and because I was very civic minded and I'm political minded, as a Republican. Now my family, which was for the most part was a single mom. There were there was a father and a stepfather in there at some point. And it was interesting because she was a teacher, but she was not pro-union. She was not, I don't think she was racist at all. I never got that sense, but then I never got that sense in my community, which was a small farming community. And I had no idea. I had Asian friends, I had black friends. I mean, I'm not going to say there were a ton of them, of each of these, because there just weren't. I did go to I was on the side of town. We were definitely at one of those towns that's like, where like the main street divides the town, and then you got the railroad tracks. It was literally one of those towns where, you could be from the other side of the tracks. That kind of place. You know what? I'm gonna get in the sun here in a second. I don't really want to do that. I'm gonna face out here. Oh, this whole body. Actually, I've been doing really well. I haven't had to go to a massage therapist for a couple of weeks. Not bad. So even though she was a teacher, and I think most people equate that with unions and liberals and or what, I guess, I don't know. And so I was raised as a conservative. I was raised kind of like we always described it was like fiscal conservatives and social moderates. My mom was not a fan of welfare and all these other things. but I never heard a racist comment or anything like that. And that's going to come into play because I've kind of synthesized, when I was talking earlier about synthesizing all this stuff and kind of my journey and my growth and how I've come to look at things, which is just proof that you're never too old to change. And it's okay to change. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to change your mindset. I mean, I'm living proof of that. I don't know if I've ever been happier. You know? So that was my initial background. And I worked, when I was home from college, I would work on campaigns for Republican candidates in Congress. I know we won, our district was Republican. And I also campaigned for Bob Dole. I met Bob Dole. He came to my town, not my town, to the county seat actually, and was able to meet him. So yeah, I mean, I was kind of involved, I guess. So, you know, go through your merry way, go through your life. You know, I did go into the Peace Corps right out of college, and most people would say, wow, you must be like one of those hippie, liberal, whatever. Well, no, I wasn't. Obviously not hippie. Never been hippie. And so, I've never been liberal. But it was more about, like, I just didn't know what the hell to do with my life. And I spoke a couple of languages and whatnot. I don't know. I figured, what the heck. So I spent 4 years over in West Africa. That experience softened me up a little bit because I think I was a little hardened, but it didn't change me radically. But what it did do was that experience allowed me to look at, and all of my experiences with traveling and whatnot have, I say whatnot a lot, have all been purposeful in the fact that they have led to discovery, curiosity, answers, perspectives, things like that. So when I lived in Mexico, I'm able to gain appreciation for cultures and languages and countries. It's like, and people, like, I've never judged people. I've definitely, I won't say judge people in terms of like as a people. I mean, I think we all judge people. But, like people meaning like a people. And so I've never done that. I've never tried to be mean. Oh my gosh, a cardinal. Wow, look at that. Whoa. Beautiful. Caught my eye because of the orange, and that must be the mate. Poor girl. She's like this dull brown, and he's like this brilliant. That wasn't a cardinal though, it had an orange breast. Like really bright, not like a robin red breast. Anyway, and so, did the whole standard, got married, had 2 kids, and was always Republican, even when we moved from San Diego. And my wife, my first wife, was the mother of my sons. It's the exact opposite of me. Very liberal, yada, 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 yeah. So you get that idea. So, both of my boys over time and are very liberal. Part of that is, that they grew up in an area that was much more liberal and urban and all that kind of stuff. Plus, the environment they're in was more liberal in terms of the household environment because they spent most of their time with their mom. That's how it usually is. And I don't judge that. I think they've turned out to be great young men, and I give her a lot of credit. So I've always been a Republican, and I've always considered myself a fiscal conservative and a social moderate. It's interesting, immigration's never been a hot button with me. I mean, maybe that's because of my perspectives of traveling, and I've seen so many different cultures and places and situations that people find themselves in. And I'm like, geez, that sucks. And it's really made me appreciate what we have here in the United States, which is something I wish Americans could experience, because to be able to appreciate what you have, I think a lot of people would change their mindset, because we're basically turning on ourselves. And I just think that's insane. That's insane. Whatever happened to compromise? Whatever happened to dialogue? Like, seriously? This is my fifth grader, my third graders, my one class, my first year of first graders, my first year. They were more mature than the electorate in this country. It boggles my mind. So, that's my background. So I get to, and I could be bitter and whatnot. I've been through two marriages. I went through two marriages as a kid. Childhood, I've already talked about all that with Tucker, but childhood sucked. And so, so anyway, that's where I've always come from. So along comes 2020. Now, in 2016, I voted for the third party candidate just because it's almost like a joke. I assumed, like everybody else, that, and I'm a registered I was a registered Republican at the time, and so I figured, like everybody else, oh, maybe it's an Oriole? I don't think they have Orioles here, but look at that. See, I don't know if you can see it, that orange breast. I don't have my glasses on. Anyway, it's on the gate, on the fence. Maybe that is a robin. I know, don't you like my meanderings? And I've got to keep a watch on the time. Okay. I mean the energy, power. So, we get to, so 2016 happens, and I didn't really think anything of that first term. I just thought, Jesus Christ. I mean, I didn't know that he was going to be a freaking disaster, but it was nothing for what prepared me for 2020. So, obviously we get into the pandemic, right? Pandemic hits. For us, in where I was, we were in lockdown the longest, and we were hit the hardest of anybody in the country. So I have good perspective on this. So anybody that tells you different is full of shit. And so it was a really dark, nasty time. So your only outlet. So we're talking. In fact, I had just been out here on the West Coast visiting my son and daughter-in-law. Over February break, which is our winter break, and we had a lot of breaks. Winter break, which is basically President's week, and we always had that week off, and that's when a lot of people would go skiing out in the West or whatever. I viewed it as a way to get to come out and see my son. I was oblivious to anything going on in terms of the outbreak in China, any of this kind of stuff. I had no freaking clue. I was in my own world. I was focused on my work. I had just planned, which is a huge deal, our biggest field trip of the year. And we were supposed to go to Broadway for this, it's like a $12,000 field trip for the grade, for the whole fifth grade. And that was for March 11th. So I come back, and I did notice somebody on the flight from, I think it was around Seattle, going that way, an older woman. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what's up with that? Kind of like in my mind, just like, what a geek. And so I had heard nothing. And this is coming from a guy that likes to think he's kind of informed. Obviously not. And so so we're now looking, I get back home around February 25th. March 9th, we shut down as a school district, which was a Monday. Our field trip that I had planned, biggest one of the year, a pain in the ass, because we go to a restaurant, and you're talking like over 100 people, kids and chaperones. Yeah, it's crazy. But it's what I did every year. And so, all of a sudden, we get a thing on the 8th, which I believe is a Sunday, March 8th. I'm like, what the? We were just cut adrift. And nobody knew anything at that point. People were dropping like flies back there. Only sound you could hear, really, for the most part, for about 3 months, was the sound of ambulances. And we're talking a very large metropolitan area. And so I feel like I've had this really close to my face. I apologize, folks. It's not where you want to be. It was a really sketchy time, folks. Nobody knew anything, especially back there then. I mean, we were wiping down packages, and I was totally unprepared. I had very little cleaning. I mean, I had like toilet bowl cleaner, but did I have like hand sanitizer, which was the thing? No, I had nothing, because I was really oblivious to it all. So, and I'm in an apartment because I had downsized, and about 5 years previously, I think I talked about that. And if not, maybe I will, because my son's really helped me out with that. Because anyway, so I'm in my little apartment, and your only outlet to the real world is TV. And because we were now doing things by Zoom, I ordered a printer, scanner, faxer thing, and because we had nothing. I got a new laptop because my school laptop was for shit, and we just did the best we could. I spent a lot of time on Zoom with the kids. Most teachers did not. Yeah, it was a bit of a joke. Anyway, it went downhill from there, and that's what precipitated me retiring. Was just like, I'm out of here. I can't. I'm not doing this. And there's going to be something else. And luckily I was at the point in my career where I could go ahead and bail. I left money on the table, but money is not everything in life. Anyway, and I gotta keep an eye on the Hoochie Madinka. Ooh, getting really low. So, what I was hearing on TV, and I'm going to try to be real quick, and then I'll do a follow-up one tomorrow or the day after, whatever. And just real quick, and so I do watch CNN. I think I mentioned that, just because from when we had the Gulf War and everything, I just felt like it was reliable. I felt like it was unbiased, and that's my opinion. And I don't chastise anybody for their opinion. And so I just couldn't believe the shit I was hearing. The lies that were coming out of our government officials' mouths and whatnot. And they were all from my party. And I'm like, whoa. This is bullshit. And then the summer came, and that's when the George Floyd thing happened. And that video really shook me to my core. If that did not shake you to your core, then you're a racist. Because if that doesn't change your outlook on the injustices in this country, you are sadly mistaken. I mean, you think I've gotten to where I am at based off of my skill and merit and good looks? No, it's because I'm a white male. And my timing was perfect. I mean, that's it. I see that now. I mean, I'm nothing special. Shit. Holy moly, folks. I don't want to be here in case it comes lifting off the ground.